And welcome back, everybody, to another GSA event. Today, on the docket, we've got a lot going on, but right now, before our very eyes, we have got the illustrious Cheese, representing Counter Logic Gaming, going up against Copitz in the group stage of the 70-star tournament being put on right now. And of course, the most beautiful man out there with me on co-commentary is Electric. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Got a little more beautiful this weekend. I let my girlfriend shave my legs. Was an interesting experience.
Wow. Okay.
So all you guys out there, that it takes work. Appreciate it.
Co-commentator with the shaved legs. Very interesting information. Not sure if I needed to know, but I'm not necessarily disappointed that I heard about it. That's good news.
I mean, I have to keep that attractive standard up.
You do. It's very important. But what's going on? What do we have any people in this call, Electric? What's happening?
We do. Right, we've got both Cheese and Copitz for a pre-race interview. Cheese, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great, even though it's 9 p.m.
Oh, the time zones, right.
Yeah.
They always get me. Commentator forgetting that the world exists. And
Right.
Copitz, what about you?
I'm feeling all right. I just got my driver's license today, finally. So I'm feeling good, feeling in a good mood.
Congratulations.
Feeling rusty, though. Haven't played 70 Star in like 2.5 months or something. And I de-rusted, but I didn't do a run. I haven't done a de-rust run. So this will be my first run in a few months.
All right.
I'm on the same boat, actually. I mean, it's been longer than that for me in 70 Star. I can't remember the last time I did a run.
You've been doing 120, so I haven't been doing a lot of these stars recently.
I guess so.
Yeah, and plus Copitz, I'm sure it's a bit of an issue splitting time with Time Splitters 2 for that GDQ run in about a month.
That's true. I have been practicing my Time Splitters co-op for the AGDQ run. It's been hard to split the time between that and Mario.
Commentator with the free puns here. Now, both of you, you said that you haven't practiced a lot of 70 Star. What are you kind of thinking is a little bit shaky? I guess we'll start with Copitz on this.
Maybe WOMPS 100, TTC 100, like a lot of the 100 coin stuff, just because all I've done in the past few months is 16 star, and those longer stars might get to me.
And Cheese, what about you on that?
LLL has been like the devil for me. Apart from LLL, I mean, SSL has been kind of sketchy with Pearl. Just basement in general, I think, is probably my scary point. Apart from that, I am decently confident. I'm a little scared for TTM because TTM is always hard in 70. Reds is hard, Breezeless is hard. If I even do Breezeless. But I mean... Oh, Buzz in the Sky. I hate Buzz in the Sky without Reds. It's the scariest thing on the planet. And then you have Buzzer throws after that too, so it's like, yeah. I always get scared in bits, but you can't avoid that.
Absolutely. And yeah, that red coin route has to be embedded in your brain, so it's got to be hard to just defeat that muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, before we turn these boys loose to go ahead and start this race, simply, do you have anything for them?
No, I think we covered a good amount of ground. I am ready to dive in and see what these gentlemen can bring to the table.
Absolutely. Good luck to you both, and may the best racer win.
Good
All
luck,
right,
guys.
thank you very much.
Appreciate
Good luck,
it. Goodbye.
Chimpo 5.
Goodbye, Copitz. 05.
Bye. Thanks.
Lovely. Lovely guys. Very sportsmanlike. Shout outs to EasyScape for the 3-month resub bub. Welcome back to the Clock Club, showing off our clocks for the almighty man himself. Providing high quality entertainment to the YouTube platform in the form of speedrunning stuff.
Absolutely. And another avenue for high quality entertainment, our sponsor, Vi.gg. Definitely, if you want to put a horse in this race, if you want to put some money down, go visit them. They got a special promo going on right now where if you lose your first wager, I believe they will actually cover up to 20 pounds on it. So, I mean, not much risk. How often are you going to find a betting agency that's going to do something like that for you? ! Bet in the chat. You have to be of legal betting age in your country, but definitely worth it.
That's a lot of pounds.
Absolutely. I mean, How much is that in quote unquote real money again?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm a filthy American, you know, only really care about my bucks, my feet, my miles. You know, a little bit ignorant of a lot of things, but you know, I like Taco Bell at the end of the day, and that's just who I am.
Yeah, and I think that's a worldwide passion. You know, I think a lot of people can relate to that.
All right, we're getting reports in the chat that it's about $25. Thank you, everybody, for your dedicated research. Commentators not ready for the conversion question.
I'm definitely glad that there wasn't any euro involved, because that would be an even bigger issue for us.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have crossed it out. Chris, I'll shout you out, Chris. Shout out to Chris. All right, they are initializing the countdown. About to get in here. Cheese versus Copitz. So, yes, they both are going to be a little bit rusty. I know Cheese hasn't been... I don't think he's been hitting Mario 64 the hardest lately. He has been dealing with some hand issues. And like Copitz mentioned, he got his Time Splitters run into AGDQ. Shout-outs to him. Congratulations to him. Also got his driver's license, which is awesome. And... also not been playing Mario as much. So I don't know. I think anything could happen. Copitz is honestly, you can't sleep on him. Like when I think Copitz, I'm like, man, I don't know if that guy's that solid, but he's 49 capable for sure. I'm going to actually double check his PB right quick. Yeah, Copitz sitting pretty at a 50-24. Cheese, of course, with the world record at 47-34.
Absolutely. Now, you know, it's really funny that Cheese had Copitz on his couch back at GDQX. Now they're facing each other, and like you said, it's really anyone's game here, especially with them, you know, not having practiced a whole lot for this tournament. Both our guys looks like running on console, so no VC controversy here. And I mean, yeah, it's just going to come down to who's able to de-rust quicker, who's able to keep that mentality positive. We see Cheese getting a tad of a head start due to Japanese, but that'll eventually fade away due to those region differences.
Indeed. So going into a run a little bit rusty, what would you advise for a strong mentality, Electric?
Definitely just try to keep a level head. Mistakes are going to happen. Just accept that from the gate. And I mean, don't go for, you know, the really ridiculous strats. I'd say if it doesn't save more than a second, you know, maybe go ahead and put it off to the wayside. Just overall, just go with what you're comfortable with. Go with what you're feeling.
Sure. Yeah, and it can be kind of deceptive. I mean, I've been there where you're quote-unquote rusty. You haven't been playing, but you're playing, and you feel pretty good about some of the stuff you're getting. So you're like, oh, yeah, I got this strat, and then it just goes horribly wrong. Definitely got to keep the perspective.
Absolutely. But fortunately, the bomb clips from both our players not going horribly wrong. I mean, that's...
thankfully.
You know, once you practice that enough, it just becomes ingrained muscle memory at a point. The way you have to roll your thumb from A to B, just all of it. And we actually see Cheese going into Princess's slide. Chat, go ahead and post your guesses. Now, with Cheese being a bit rusty, I'm going to preliminarily say a 12-8. Okay. What about you?
Cheese is kind of crazy on the slide. Honestly, he gets some pretty nutty times pretty frequently. I'm going to go ahead and throw out a 12.6. I'm feeling it. He might be rusty, but I think he's got something up his sleeve.
Commentator actually changing his guess to a 12-7. Very clean execution so far.
And 12.6. He's still got it.
Simply with the master's copy of the script. Meanwhile, Copitz going into Womps 100. You know, he commented before the race that this was one that he was concerned about. So overall, good start at the beginning, making bonking on the platform cycle.
Yeah, that's so rough because you really can't do much about that. Once you've missed the cycle, that's pretty much where you're at, and he can't even do a half cycle. That's rough.
Just having to wait for that platform to slowly spin on around. Now, I do have to wonder, what is Womp trying to protect himself from with this fortress?
Oh no, Copitz diving just a little too early.
Taking that bonk.
And he can't get up. Taking some fall damage. He has got 4 slices of pie left.
We're definitely seeing why this was Copitz's most dreaded stage. Okay, able to finally recover and go ahead and get that red. Meanwhile, Cheese with the clean cannonless.
I'm not sure why he's going for that piranha plant, but I guess that works out. Okay, and Copitz with a alternate route. Typically, you see players go for these coins he's going for right now, and then head over to the Arrow Island. But yeah, 100. It's definitely a big boy in Womps.
No doubt. So much precise movement on such a compact stage. Cheese with that beautiful Owless, completely effortless, it seems. I mean, does he even know the owl is still there?
I guess not. Or just doesn't care. You know, the owl probably patiently waiting to be grabbed. Although, I gotta know how an owl can carry Mario. I mean, yes, it's a video game. Yes, he's a doughboy. But he's got to be pretty heavy. Like, the owl doesn't look too strong.
Yeah, but ultimately he could grip it from the husk.
The husk.
Absolutely. The hair in
Okay.
this case. You know, on a coconut, the hair on the outside of the coconut. The husk.
Oh, okay. All right. Commentator, not exactly sure what husk is, but learning new words every day. Copitz going for the owless. And both players neglecting the owl. You know, there's just a lot of animal neglect in general. Although I don't think the owl would be too upset about it. Like I said, you know, Mario kind of a big boy.
Absolutely not. And I mean, he's not having to get the same fate as Mips, where he has to get punched and, you know, thrown around, dived into, and the toad abuse. I mean, we've seen plenty of players just giving him the fist for no great reason, even though he's just trying to help. You see Copitz going for his cannonless. That reliable sock folder setup works
Boom.
for him. Very clean, while Cheese finishes out that 100-coin round.
Yeah, so she's already developing a pretty nice lead, mostly stemming from Copitz's 100 fiasco. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that you see players a lot warm up with Womps 100, or just in general put a lot of time into it, because it's a very heavy reset point. I think you see many resets on it, and when it's a race, you know, obviously you can't reset. You got to be solid. You got to have a foundation.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's such a technical stage. All of this just ridiculous strategy compacted into this one tiny area. And really, what kind of fortress is this? I don't see an entrance anywhere. And it's in the middle of a blue sky, no sort of land or enemy in sight. I mean, ooh, Cheese with that slide down.
Yeah.
So Copit's getting up to the Womp first, but Cheese 1 star ahead because of the Princess's slide. So definitely still got that lead, but that slide cost him a little bit there. Big Daddy Womp being immediately handled by both our players here.
Yeah, not even a chance out here for the Womp. Womping ain't easy, as we can see. Mario, especially when the person controlling Mario is a speedrunner. The Womps are honestly a bit of a joke. Most enemies in this game are honestly a joke. Okay, huge ground pound from Copitz. Struggling to get in the painting. Losing a little bit of time there. But yeah, so Cheese did go to slide first. And I don't know why Copitz didn't. He might not be familiar with the movement, but especially in a race setting, I feel like it's a no-brainer to go for slide first, because it saves you a free second. You know, might as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's such a practice strat. There's not a whole lot of room for error there. You just hit that one brick and then execute the dive properly. I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. So maybe Copitz just saving it in case what happened to Womps happens. You know, maybe he's leaving it as kind of a recovery star to kind of remind himself of what he's capable of. Now, Cheese getting that 12-6 the first time. I'm going to go ahead and say that luck will continue. I'm predicting a 12-6. Meanwhile, Copitz will have to watch his initial movement, but I'm going to preliminarily predict a 12-7.
I'm going to throw down a 12-8. Oh, okay. Cheese with the 12.7. Pretty nice slides. And, oh, that looked a little bit slow there at the end for Copitz, but I'll play now.
Yeah,
We'll take those.
not too shabby. Any sub-13 in a race like this, not a huge deal. And Copitz does have another opportunity to get an even better time, so. Cheese going into that dreaded wing cap stage. Let's see how he handles these twins. Some people call this the hardest stage in the game. What do you think about that?
I think that's a bit of a stretch. I definitely wouldn't call it the hardest stage in the game, but it can definitely be annoying. Flying is an acquired taste. It takes a while to get it down, but after a while, it's really not too bad. And Cheese executing it just fine, no problems. Rust didn't really seem to affect him there. But it can turn into a fiasco. There are plenty clips of me, you know, losing my mind in wing cap stage, losing a run. It happens. Usually because you want to go too fast. That's usually the reason. But we'll see what Copitz does.
And those
Looking at
arcs
his
aren't at
screen.
all intuitive.
Not at all. Yeah, it takes some time. I mean, you got to do some studying. Spend a couple hours in the lab. Spend a couple hours in the field. A couple hours with the professors. Okay, Copitz flying way up there. See, this is You can't really tell right away. You basically need to see it side by side. But Copitz flying way up. You can see, the way that he's handling the angles and whatnot. Obviously, it's been a while. And
Definitely
like you said,
losing a bit of time, just like Cheese missing Shigeru's cycle with that accidental ledge grab looked like, but at least he's not dead. That is the biggest thing. I know I've said it to death, but not dying in Dark World in a race is really all you can ask for.
Ooh, and Cheese. Wait, is that Saya cycle? I'm pretty sure that was a Zaya cycle from Cheese. Really nice. Could be wrong about that, but pretty sure.
Chat seeming to encourage me to not be shy. I promise you that I'm not a shy guy. But
that was decent. But they're called Fly Guys. Fly Guys. Oh, normal cycle. Okay. Speedrun confirming it's a normal cycle. Commentator sort of asleep at the wheel, pretending like he has an idea of what's going on, but being completely exposed in the chat room. Feels okay, man.
Those cycles can be sometimes a bit hard to spot. I mean, there's 5 total of them. It takes a very well-trained eye. You have to really inspect it. Just get
You
right
gotta
down in
smell it. Gotta
Absolutely.
sample it. Give it a
You
little.
gotta lick the marble. You gotta date the marble.
That's SpongeBob, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I forgot about that episode.
Laser, I love you too.
Okay, and Copitz as well, getting what appeared to be some nice firsties. Actually, I'm not sure what that second one was. Again, commentator, I mean, it's hard to see, right? Copitz, a couple pixels on screen. It's hard to decipher exactly what's going on, but I'm pretty sure he's playing Mario. And Cheese as well, playing Mario. In here, Bob on Battlefield. Beautiful speed kick.
Absolutely. Now let's see how this sky jump goes. Definitely glad that he wasn't trying to go for island hop.
Yeah, island hop. I think I actually saw Lunar Jump go for island hop, and you got to be super confident in it. And some players are very consistent at island hop, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it cropping up a little bit more as we progress. I don't think it's exactly necessary in the group stage, but maybe if you're against an opponent that's dangerously close to your skill level and you happen to be really good at island hop, then bust it out. It's a tool that's meant to be used, and it saves quite a decent amount of time. But again, very risky.
Absolutely. And I mean, if I remember right, there's only 1 or 2 frames on that wall kick to start island hop that will actually let it work. Cheese not even needing wall kicks to make that star work. Let's see how Copitz handles his sky jump.
Beautiful. Just stunning gameplay here on the Copitz side of things. Steering Mario right into that box.
Just that
Feels
perfect
good.
little ground pound there. I mean, here at GSA, we only bring you the finest of the finer things.
Cheeky. And Cheese sliding on down. Will he get the Michael Jackson special right in that door?
Ooh, not even needing that wall.
Oh! Wow! Okay, and a little flex. Weird flex, but okay. Cheese with the long jump firsty. Copitz double jumping down here. I'm not sure if that's what he wanted, but made it work. That'll play.
And Copitz getting that star clean as well. We've seen so many races where that star gives people trouble, but both these guys, even with that little bit of rust, I'm thinking they pulled out the WD-40, but Cheese missing that ledge grab there. That's okay. Still getting that penguin grab real quickly.
Is WD-40 allowed? I don't know if that was covered in the rules or not.
I'm really not sure. I mean, I think it'd be kind of hard to get it down in the control stick and really make it work, but it's doable, maybe.
All right, Copitz sliding backwards into the door, but not quite the MJ special. But will he flex on us? No, he will not. Saving us. Thank you very much, based Copitz. Cheese with a nice red coin grab on the tree. And
let's see how he handles this 100 coin here.
Strangely enough, both players going for Cool Mountain 18. I just... The thing about it... Oh, triple jump dive right into the roof, the chimney. Cheese in there. Man, that looks so good. It's just a little scary. Yeah. Steady hand. I don't know. Racing the Penguin scares me because if you miss one of these coins, you're in big trouble. Well, 2 of them. I think Cheese got all of them. Copitz as well. Heading on in. 24 coins. It's looking good. looking
Cheese
fine.
real nice coin movement right now. We'll go ahead and miss that one on the end. Real nice and easy to just arc right out of its way. Yup. Nice, cool
Okay.
85 to close out the slide.
Copitz jumping a little bit early back there. He cannot miss another coin. If he does, he will suffer a lot of time loss. Wow, Cheese. Beautiful long jump right as the penguin coming in. Swapping spots. Copitz taking a quick pause and, okay, teleporting through the cave. I guess we'll allow that. And has all 100 coins. Not too bad. And
seems to have taken about as long. And, yep, spawning the star right where he wants it. Executing that long jump nice, but he's actually turning the camera there, interestingly enough.
Huge
Also make sure
pound.
he's got that good angle. Now we see Cheese going into BBH, that Big Boo's house haunt.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Cheese with 2 ground pounds before he even gets into the next stage. My goodness.
His pointer on that left hand definitely a bit trigger happy, no doubt. Now you gotta wonder, why is Big Boo haunting this house? What happened here?
It's a fair question. I feel like there's a lot of interpretations, a lot of theories. I'm not sure if I mean, obviously, yes, they're haunting the house, Big Boo and all of his minion ghosts. But I don't see it much as haunting, more as they're inhabiting. And maybe they labeled it as Big Boo's haunt. Whoever they is. They don't
Big
understand the
anti-ghost
culture.
corporations, Big Ghostbuster.
Well, I don't know who does the labeling for these stages, honestly. I mean, obviously somebody programmed it, but like, who's actually... Was it Peach? Maybe Peach specified what these paintings' names are? I'm not exactly sure. But this isn't really a painting. It's just a cage and a ghost, which is a whole nother, logical fallacy that we're falling victim to here in Mario 64. But just kind of go with the flow. I mean, there's a lot of crazy things happening all the time. And Copitz not securing the wall kick dive, going for another quick pause, hanging his head in shame, and getting back up there. All good.
Interestingly, Cheese choosing to start with the Big Boo, but Copitz choosing... Oh, never mind. Commentator forgetting how exactly the house is laid out. Maybe the Boos are haunting his mind and making him forget.
Co-commentator trying to blame his memory problems on the Boo, implanting evil data into his brain cells, but commentator not exactly buying it. Calling out co-commentator. We'll see how he feels about that. Cheese with the punch grab, though. Looking nice.
Super clue. Nip's not giving him any lip today. He knows his place in this game.
It's so violent, honestly. The punch grab on Mips.
Yeah, he barely gets any time to respond. You see, he just looks back, starts trying to run, but Mario's in it with the dive. He's just not having it.
Okay. Interesting. Pillarless. Build a bear. Cheezo 5 building a huge bear. Commentator calling him Cheezo 5. It's just embedded in his brain. But this is
Brick in that box, super risky. Nice entry though. Having a little bit of trouble with that initial dune, but made it work in the end.
Copitz having a moment of silence, and again, nice cheeky little teleport. And
We're
chat,
seeing...
not really buying it. Calling out a splice, but I think that's a little bit quick of a judgment. Copitz, a very wholesome gentleman. I don't think he would be doing that. Plus, you probably wouldn't want to splice mistakes in. We've been seeing some mistakes on Copitz's side, but maybe he's throwing us off our trail.
Yep, commentators definitely needing to look a bit deeper, although, I mean, it's Copitz's trademark, those internet issues,
You could, yeah, I mean, it stares you right in the face. You cannot avoid that. As soon as you load up the stream, you know what you're getting. Some pure, unadulterated Copitz content.
Now Cheese, with that little slide down the dune, but going for that top of the pyramid star, not even needing it as a backup. Let's see if Copitz ends up succeeding at Pillarless. Looks like he got a decent start.
Yeah, looks like something's going to happen. He appears to have a big bomb. Rotate. Oh, and he is now... It appears that it did not end up working out. Copitz having some serious issues here.
Both with gameplay and stream. I mean, I don't know what he's trying to tell us with this frame right here. And Mario now with the slight glitch art. Oh, man. What a beautiful scene. The still from Sandland getting morphed, data moshed with the star entrance.
Oh, no. Copitz cannot get his Pillarless going. This is a this is a symptom of high levels of rust. It's volatile. It is growing, amalgamating into something evil.
Ooh,
in
and
his-
missing Klepto there. Just not going right for him, it seems.
Get into Bob. A heinous, deplorable even claim in the chat that Copitz is pausing to watch the walkthrough video. That's a burn. That's a bit of a burn. Chat, you know, doesn't hold back, relentless, letting it rip. But Cheese also letting it rip, making moves happen here in Lethal Lava Land. Copitz presumably doing things, but at the moment it's hard to say. Another pillarless attempt, but not happening. What's he gonna do? He's gonna try again, respawning the bomb. Really wants to get this pillarless. At this point, he's invested too much time. But this is the sunk cost fallacy. If you can't get it going, might be a little too rusty, you might just have to drop it and go and do shell full or shellless or something else. But Copitz determined. Big bomb, jump dive, double jump in, ground pound, and it's looking good. I mean, we're all on the edge of our seat wondering if it's going to happen. Nobody quite sure.
Oh, the suspense. Meanwhile, Cheese getting a very nice lava boost.
And he's in. Copitz
Absolutely.
doing it. Looking like heaven there for a second. Very bright lights, but back to reality.
Yep, there goes gravity as he enters into Lethal Lava Land himself. And Cheese designating this as one of his problem stages. Looks like he's problem-free for the most part.
Yeah, don't want to call it too soon, though. Commentator's curse is a very real thing, and she's still a little bit of work left to do.
Yep, having to handle those bullies, I believe. Meanwhile, Copitz handling the big one. Handling. Ooh, Cheese taking that burn, just clipping that corner a little bit too early. Gonna have to do this bully star with that one tiny little sliver of health, but that's okay.
Just a little scary, but, you know, as long as you just spam your long jumps there, you got a good angle, you're fine. Cheese executing. One more star here in Lethal Lava Land, and he is set. Copitz now entering.
Yep, and a nice lava boost from Copitz. No frame drops, fortunately, not leaving us in the waiting wings until he goes for the star grab. Definitely considerate of him to save that frame drop for then.
Copitz in the Matrix, showing us frame by frame exactly what's going through his brain, what's going through his mind, and more importantly, what is being sent through his network. Some packets perhaps being lost, but most of them being delivered safely. Cheese, nice bullies. Didn't get quite the triple combo, but still pretty cute.
Yeah, they definitely didn't manhandle him, which is more than a lot of our other racers can say. Copitz with that nice triple with that one ground pound. You know, I think the bullies have definitely been medicated today. They've definitely gone through those anger management courses, and they're on the right track to success.
If being on the right track to success means getting bopped by a doughboy into lava, then I don't know. My whole life might be a lie. Might have to go jump in some lava.
I mean, we all have different definitions of success.
That's true. That's true. It's a hard thing to define, too. Definitely a lot of different interpretations on what success is.
Absolutely.
Oh!
And Copitz falling off the elevator.
Oh!
Taking a death in the volcano. Man, this is time he cannot afford to lose. He's not only running on borrowed time, he's borrowed time from 3 of his friends and is now having to consult a loan shark for time.
And it's a hard deal to break. Copitz credit score not looking the greatest. Investigating his stream, seeing the amount of pixels, you know, they might not throw it his way. Might have to reach out to extended family members, cousins, uncles, and if he doesn't have a good relationship with them, then it's going to be a hard sell.
He may even need to hit up those classmates he hasn't talked to in a long time. Maybe just word it so where it seems like a multi-level marketing ploy, but not quite. Nice reds, though. At least he's able to finish out with that. Meanwhile, Cheese going in for that sub star. I'm thinking he may go for front sub here. What about you? I mean, he's reliable at it.
It is certainly looking that way. He's tilting his camera the other way, and yeah, it really is looking like a front sub. We're about to see attempted from Cheese. You know, Cheese honestly performing pretty well in this race, despite not having done 70 star in a long time. The front sub, though, not quite there. Commentator's curse. And left side, all right. We take those.
Yeah, eating that lag up, but ultimately not taking that full fail. So I'd say it's good.
Definitely is, but Fire Sea will be coming up here shortly. Cheese still wants to get Manta Ray out of the way. You know, Fire Sea, another dastardly demon, devil. It's quite a bop. Seen a lot of
Absolutely.
players struggling with it in this tournament for good reason. You know, it's a lot of lava. The cycle is very tight to make. Copitz, okay, peeking through the door at first and then ultimately making it through. No problems there.
Yep, and with that cycle, I mean, there's so many places that things can go wrong, like that cage where you have to raise the elevator and grab those red coins. We've seen people miss the red coin in the back of the cage. We've seen people miss the red coin under the elevator. I mean, we've seen all sorts of ways to mess this level up. It's just difficult. That's all there is to it. It is a hard level, but she's making it look easy, making it look good,
Making it look
nice
sexy,
movement.
suave,
Getting that
sophisticated,
triple jump.
highly intellectual. Cheese representing Counter Logic Gaming, showing us some Counter Logic Gaming right now. The logic here being a consistent stream feed. You know, Copitz with the logical decision of employing a lot of frame drops, but she's counter logically going for the smooth stream. I like it, but I like the contrast. It's nice.
It definitely shows you both extremes of the Twitch partner universe.
Is Copitz a Twitch partner? I don't know. I know he's definitely an affiliate.
And no doubt, I kind of figured he was. I'd have to check that.
Might have to
Chat, I'm
investigate.
sure. Chat, I'm sure will correct us if we are wrong. Commentators using chat as basic fact checking.
Yeah, it is hard to keep the facts going, you know, when trying to provide high octane commentary. Cheese winding it up. Nice throw right at the bomb.
Very nice throw. I mean, overall, real nice Fire Sea. The only mistake I saw was just missing that red coin, the flamethrower, and that cost him, what, 2 seconds, if that. I mean, making that early Ellie's with lava boost, I mean, that Copitz is going to have a hard time following.
Yeah, it's Cheese is just really stepping on the gas, but historically, Cheese is also a player that has had a lot of problems with Tippy. Rainbow Ride, TikTok Clock, Bowser in the Sky. The last 3 stages all really have provided him with a lot of trouble, heartache, headache throughout the years, and I would not be shocked if perhaps those symptoms persisted. Heading upstairs with a bonk, not the best way to start. Starting on the wrong foot here for Cheese, but heading into Wet Dry World. Copitz, Fire Sea, can he make it happen? Lava boost, early Ellie's.
We'll see what he ends up making. Bit hard to see if he's getting those red coins with his bit rate, but it looks like he's grabbing them handily.
Yeah, those red coins really blending in nicely with the lava.
Now, I'm noticing, whereas Dark World has those stalactites and stalagmites, this level is just straight up fire all the way around. I mean, where is this? Is this, like, inside of Pompeii?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. It's a little scary when you think about it. It's just a huge square of lava, and then it just kind of ends. It's like a flat Earth. Flat Earth theory confirmed live here on Twitch.
Yep. Commentators for GSA definitely may be leaning into the conspiracy theory realm. Not entirely sure. I mean, where's the curve?
Show me the curve. Please.
Let's see. Let me Google some space footage real quick.
All right.
Yep, see, there's the curve. Right there.
Oh, okay. I can see it.
Yeah, you just have to know where to look. Meanwhile, Cheese knowing where exactly to look for this Wet Dry World 100 coin. With a nice little start here, although we're not seeing a lot of the difficult stuff. You're getting that bonk off the spider. He decides to get a little too close today. But Copitz with that clean Bowser throw. Definitely not quite matching Cheese with that lava boost, but getting an early cycle. So, I mean, that's all he could ask for at this point.
Now chat getting into it about the flat Earth, you know, might be changing some minds here. I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully, you know, everybody sticks with the what they thought was originally going on. But, you know, flat Earth, a pretty convincing theory, a lot of evidence. You can't be wrong.
I mean, yeah, you know, if you haven't walked personally all the way around, how do you know it's not flat? And plus, I mean, you know,
Oh
with
my
all the
God.
other
Oh,
those
so
coins
many
falling
coins.
down.
I have no idea what he was thinking with that Chucky toss, that angle. Oh, that triple jump as well. He has actually lost his protractor is the only possible conclusion I can come to. The angles are not adding up. Not making much sense.
Absolutely. Definitely an odd mistake to see from him.
Yeah, and Copitz will take that gladly. He needs anything he can get. Copitz getting in here on the 100 plus secrets train as well.
Actually choosing to start with that, whereas it looked like she's grabbing a couple of quickies instead. But chat putting forth many shapes for Earth. Ooh, she's not quite getting into the painting.
Out entering a midlife crisis as he attempts to enter wet dry world. I don't know what that was. I really don't know what to say about that, but you know, at least he got in. And Copitz continues to collect the coins. Making plays happen out here in the wet dry world, which is not really looking too wet at the moment. Pretty dry.
You know, just that little layer of water at the bottom. You know, you can't drain a pool like that all the way down, of course. But, you know, I definitely think Cheese's machinery, you know, it must have had a real clean spot at the start, but I think we're starting to see the rust just getting in there a little bit.
Yeah, and you'd think that, okay, so he's been playing for 30 minutes. Surely he's feeling derusted. But that's not exactly how it works. Every stage is sort of its own thing. I mean, you get more comfortable with your hands on the controller, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the stars later on are just going to come back to you if they weren't already there. It's a very real thing, and you see it all the time. She's almost hitting the teleport there. That would have been rough, but thankfully a little bit too far to the left to land in the teleporter zone. But excellent secrets. Secret's definitely a big hurting point in Tiny Huge Island. The rest of it should be pretty smooth flowing. Copitz playing it pretty safe here in Wet Dry World with these 2 stars.
Nice little top of the town. And yeah, to further what you said, stuff in like Tall Tall Mountain, for instance, you see strats that are nearly as hard as some of the stuff you see in Womps. I mean, it's the difficulty curve definitely starts spiking a bit in the upstairs portion of the run.
Yeah, definitely. Tall Mountain, most notably the Mountain Clip, I would say. Mountain Clip and Log Wall Kick, big points of error. The Reds, of course. See a lot of problems there. Copitz, ground pound, slightly off, but gets back in there. And he is, he's taking a quick pause, but popping on out. Jeez.
Nice little data moshing again. Looks like he worked on the Lamborghini High video himself.
That video is insane. If you guys have not seen the Lamborghini High video, I guess we need to shout that out. Oh, jeez, I thought he was gonna take a swim. Very glitchy.
Mob.
It's a banger. It is a banger.
Absolutely.
But you know what?
Oh, what is also a banger?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's also a banger. Vi.gg. Not only can you bet on a match, but if it's your first bet, they will cover you up to £20, which is apparently $25 in USD. Exclamation point bet if you want to check it out. Unfortunately, if you're in the US, you cannot bet, and you also need to be of legal age. So, you know, get that sorted out, but check it out if you're interested. All matches in the 70-star tournament, the Super Mario Odyssey any percent tournament, and the Super Metroid any percent tournament can be betted on. And shout outs again to Vi for sponsoring these tournaments. And
Cheese going for clean bracelets
Okay.
from Cheese.
Copitz taking a swim.
Copitz
And-
having a little trouble with his secrets. But
Oh my
man.
goodness, that recovery from Copitz. I don't think I've ever seen somebody actually single jump on the slope and then recover like that. Copitz, he's out here. He's not going to let that cause any problems. That was kind of insane.
Not even kind of. That was just straight insane. I've never seen that triple jump to get that poor secret. And Cheese having a little bit of issues with that platform. You know, trying to make sure the ledge grab was right. But ultimately getting behind that waterfall real nice and
good. Oh, Copitz with the slight misdirect. Swerving on the road, might have, you know, had a couple of sips. I mean, I don't want to just assume that, but I'm assuming that based on what I just saw. Swerving.
And I mean, it would make a bit of sense since his stream has definitely hit the bottle at least a little bit today.
For sure. And, you know, Copitz just getting his driver's license as well. So it's all sort of adding up. The evidence is stacked against him. The only conclusion. But she's rocking it in Tall Mountain, making the plays, making it not really look like that tall of a mountain with the speed, dexterity, agile fingertips, swiftly moving with, you know, oh, okay, and as
I'm taking that bonk there.
As I'm celebrating Cheese's beautiful gameplay with as many synonyms as I can possibly think of, Cheese dropping the ball. But how will these Reds go for him is a whole nother question. Oh, good start.
Ooh.
Oh, little bonk. Okay, okay.
And I'm honestly surprised he didn't go for the triple box jump whenever he took that bonk there.
Triple box jump.
I think he'll be going for it next. I'm probably not calling it by the correct name.
Oh, the, I know what you're talking about. The, I guess they call it a crazy box.
Yeah,
I never really knew what the name of it was, but it's a pretty crazy box. I mean, just look at it.
No source, but somewhere I want to say they call it a Tox box.
Wow. Okay. Chat, what do you think? What does anybody even know the name of that box? I've heard crazy box. Now we got Tox box. A lot of floating ideas, but okay. Crazy box.
Crazy box for sure. Looks like Commentator's brain is the one that has the Tox, while she's going into Snowman's Land. Gonna be starting out with the head. We've seen a lot of people have trouble with this. Let's see if he just to get it well. Nice wall kick. Okay. And easy money for Cheese. Hope is again gonna have. He has his work cut out for him at this point.
Yeah. He just got to keep going. He's just got to keep moving forward. Shout outs to Kid Cudi. But that's pretty much all he can do. Cheese is keeping a great hand on the wheel, though. Hasn't really dropped much time. So we'll see. But, I mean, Copitz, otherwise, though, he's on not too shabby of pace.
Oh, not at all. Against really any other competitor, I'm sure Copitz would be firmly in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, Cheese, you know, he is the world record holder after all. He's one of the best in Mario history. A very formidable opponent, and it's been kind of nice to see Cheese also develop his racing abilities over it feels like the past year or two. I definitely remember a time where Cheese really struggled in races. Mentality wasn't quite there, which is, you know, I feel like a pretty overlooked part of speedrunning, especially as tournaments are becoming more prominent. The mentality you have going into these races is a huge effect on how you end up performing, in my opinion.
Now, chat mentioning the Tox box is actually the rotating crates in SSL. So Tox box is an item, but just not exactly what we were talking about in that instance.
Oh, I think they're talking about those big boys that stomp.
Yep, they keep rotating on that little maze there, and they got that one open side. Cheese going ahead and starting his HMC late. Copitz opting for the breeze. Wise decision if you're not too comfortable with breezeless.
Oh, but the infamous, just a little bit too far back there, clipping right where it hurts. Copitz falling through.
That is rough.
And Cheese with another punch grab on Mips. Beautiful. Yeah, that is so unfortunate. You know, you're like, all right, I'm not going to bother with breezeless. You know, I'm just going to play it safe. And then you just get slapped in the face. But second try, making it happen.
Copitz has not done HMC yet, both of them on similar routes to address chat. Meanwhile, Cheese looks like he's treating Toad with respect, as he should. I mean, he's just giving you a free star, but you know something? Bowser says he gives the stars to his minions, so why does Toad have 4?
Is it the same Toad? Do you think he's just moving around, or is it 4 different Toads?
I mean, he's just popping in out of nowhere, and with all the other stuff happening in this castle, you know, I'm starting to... My suspension of disbelief is starting to suspend itself.
Yeah, I mean, he's invisible. There's a whole lot of things I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Toad, mystical powers. I mean, I guess it lines up, you know, resembles a mushroom, and mushrooms, you know, have mystical powers, so I guess we can let it slide.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be playing both sides. That is also a viable option.
Double Agent Toad, confirmed. Russian spy. right. And, you know, getting political there very
Ooh,
quickly.
Cheese, nice dive into that Dory star. Just beautifully executed triple box jump. That is the triple box jump.
Yes, and doing it very nicely while Copitz collected a very nice snowman's head start.
Yep. Now let's see how he handles this deep freeze. Remember, Cheese got a little ledge grab there, so making up just a slight little chunk of time. Just like a little nickel a time, which, I mean, that's going to add up eventually. You know, if you save every nickel you get in your life, you're going to end up with a lot of nickel.
Probably. I think that's pretty fair to say. I guess it depends on the kind of person you are. You know, some people might be getting more nickels than others. But
Cheese
either way,
getting more Christmas miracles than others for sure.
yeah, I mean, just look at the facts. Cheese 1, Copitz 0. So, change my mind. Chad.
Absolutely. And it's worth pointing out, too, I mean, if everyone in this chat gave 1 penny to NASA right now, it'd be really hard to count them all. Copitz with that weird movement, getting back into Snowman's Land, I think he may have been trying to leave early.
Yeah, he forgot that he needed to go back in to quit. I don't know if he was going to go to Tippy or if he was going to go all the way down to the basement, but heading on down here as Cheese wraps up Hazy Maze Cave, and Cheese on some pretty spicy pace might be able to land himself a cheeky 48.
That would be amazing. I believe that'd be the first we'd see in this race, right?
Yeah.
Or in the tournament, rather.
I think so. I don't want to just throw that out there, but I would assume so. But, I mean, Tippy is a whole nother beast. It's assuming that he can make it happen. And as I mentioned earlier, no, Cheese with a history of rough moments in Tippy.
So we'll see if it decides to treat him well today or if Reset Ride lives up to its name. Probably going to be starting out with that Lakitu bounce to get the cruiser. So let's hope that goes well for him. Opting for the quick Lakitu manipulation.
Copitz trying to get his triple jump box. Nice bounce from Cheese, but he slides on down, and this is it. Right here is a huge moment because how Cheese reacts to that, how he feels about that, is basically going to dictate how the rest of this Rainbow Ride and ultimately Tippy will go.
Right. Seems to be handling the Reds back up with ease.
Yeah, that was nice.
Thinking he's definitely got that ice in the room to cool himself off. Copitz with the ledge grab.
Oh, my goodness. Copitz gets the backup just to fall back in the hole. I feel like Copitz does that every time. I think last time I watched Copitz do a race, he did that same thing. I could be wrong, but pretty sure. Something about that hole just, you know, it gets to Copitz. Really worried about falling in it. And, you know, another reason to bring up mentality.
I mean, mentality is... Oh, and she's sliding down yet again.
Seemed the jump.
I think that was the same kick, too. So having to go for tricky triangles as his backup. See, I mean, he's starting to run out of backups.
The unfortunate thing is that Copitz, at the same time, is struggling very heavily with the triple jump box. Again, having to reroute his decision here in Hazy Maze Cave. So not going to be able to capitalize on these mistakes that Cheese is making because he's making his own.
Right on that. I mean, he's definitely, I mean, he's had his work cut out for him basically from the beginning of this run, but he's only making it worse at this point. Now, let's see if Cheese manages to, okay, he gets that jump this time, finally able to get that cruiser after 3 attempts, but no deaths. So that's worth something. Absolutely.
And Copitz finally getting his triple jump box on the 3rd try. It's looking like the script writer may have been a little lazy, doing a 3 times the charm, kind of cliche, but we'll run with it. It's what we got in front of us.
I mean, yeah, you can't argue with the script. Whoever's writing it, definitely above our pay grade. Now, meanwhile, Cheese going for that swinging in the breeze, and he's swinging it nice and clean.
Cheese in the breeze. With ease.
And his stars come in 3s.
Did they?
I mean, did take him 3 tries for cruiser crossing, so I'd say that's a group of 3.
Fair point.
Commentator
Cheese entering TTC.
Let's see how... Ooh, looks like... Is he going for a bottom-up approach? No.
Nice.
Going for pendulums
that
first.
was... Oh, yeah. That
Very...
was... that's what I like to see. Cheese rocking it, and probably the first racer I've seen going for the top star first, which I heavily support. We've seen a lot of bottom up. We've seen some sandwich methodology, but Cheese going with the top down. I'm a fan. What do you think, Electric?
Oh, big fan too. Unlike trickle-down economics, the top-down approach to TTC really works.
That is a pretty good analogy, if I knew what that meant. But I'm sure somebody knows, and it's probably pretty solid.
Commentator just with that, for some reason, advanced knowledge of economics. Maybe at one point was attempting to be a cult leader.
Oh!
Ooh, and Copitz getting hit by that Lakitu, not getting that bounce at all, pulled out the spiny at the perfect time, looked like.
But Commentator gonna have to go ahead and back that up. Co-Commentator is saying something about potentially starting a cult. You know, getting controversial, but Copitz missing his dive. And a bonk. Scary Flame coming through. So, interesting stuff coming from Co-Commentator. Might have a darker past than we know, or brighter. You never know. Maybe there's good cults. I don't know too much about
it was a positive cult. We were all about science and knowledge.
Oh, okay.
And eating the rich.
All right. So co-commentator, insane, but you know, is able to provide some decent commentary, so we'll keep him around.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like everything else in the world. You know, as long as you provide that right service, what you do on your own time is what you do on your own time. But
This is
ultimately, cults take a lot of funding, which I do not have.
true. Rip. Copitz though, Lakitu bounce, cruiser, it's happening.
Getting it
And
on that
Cheese-
second try, and it's really happening with Cheese on that 100 coin.
Yeah, he is making the plays. Oh, RNG though, not quite happy with him. Going to slap him, but quickly gets that coin. No issues there.
Nice comfy finish.
Cheese is looking great, man. TikTok clock so far, so good. And that kind of seems to be the theme. If he's going to have mistakes in Tippy, oh, getting crushed by the thwomp. It's typically in Rainbow Ride, but okay, getting gone. Okay, Copitz. Not sure how he ended up on this pole. I assume he fell down over here somewhere. So Copitz having a moment of fun, swinging around in the breeze.
And also
Suspended.
giving us one more pause for good measure.
Just to balance it out. I feel like we haven't had enough up here. I think we need a little bit more of that action. Okay, bursty from Cheese. He is flying through TikTok clock.
You know, he's on those last two now. He's going to have to do those time jumps on moving bars, which are not moving, but the jumps are still very much timed. Nice time dive and just clean as glass. Oh, and Copitz with that death on Rainbow Ride, not quite getting that triple jump. That is about clean as mud.
Yup. Definitely not that clean. I guess it depends on the mud, but most mud I've seen resembles what I just saw on Copitz's screen. And in general, what I'm seeing on Copitz's screen.
Yet that just constant data mashing. I mean, at the very least, he is giving us a nice visual slideshow.
Yeah, and, you know, Copitz complying, giving us the pauses that we were looking for here in Rainbow Ride. And Cheese, I'm pretty sure he is now done. Just has
Yep.
Toad.
Talking to that interdimensional time-traveling wizard one last time before going up the no longer endless staircase.
So Cheese, in fact, looking like he is on 48 pace, which is kind of nutty, all things considered. Just busting it out on a no reset run in a
I mean,
race.
For him calling himself Rusty, I mean, most players, this would be their A game.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you guys got to watch out.
Absolutely.
Cheese is out for blood. Contrary to what his name and cute emotes might lead you to believe.
This is a vicious man, straight out of Trinidad. He's got revenge coming at that Koopa for stealing his
Oh!
princess.
Firing the speed kick. So beautiful. Copitz working through his 100.
Let's see, going for that right side and just clean execution all the way around. Nice elevators there. Now, the dreaded throws. We know these have given Cheese trouble in the past. Let's see what comes of this.
All right. 48.06 in the pipe. Copitz taking a fall. So Cheese could get like a 48-46, 48-47. I'm gonna call a 48-48.
Ooh, and a dead accurate throw there, not even needing that extended hitbox off those trademarked range bombs, but he may need it on that one.
That might be the end of 48.
No cheeky 48, unfortunately, but easy low 49. And it looks, okay, barely getting within that range. I mean, he definitely paid for the extended range there.
This might actually be a 48. 48-59, perhaps tying the commentators PB.
Yep, we'll have to see when exactly that star gets grabbed. I'm thinking of 59.
59. Okay, and a 49.01 from Cheese. But Cheese not pausing his timer, and there he goes.
You're just adding a few seconds, just what the hey? You know, why not?
What the hey? And Cheese in chat confessing he forgot to stop his timer. Yikes. Copitz moving on through. Tick-tock clock.
We got 4 stars left out of this guy, and I mean, definitely admirable performance against an opponent like Cheese, and with some of the mistakes that Copitz has made. I mean, it's really, I think a lot of his time has been eaten by major mistakes rather than minor, like that right there, slipping off of that platform and taking a death now. Oh, man. This is just not going well for him at all.
Okay, and Copitz realizing that it is, in fact, GG. What up, Cheese?
Good day. How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good, how are you, man?
Good.
Now, Bub, you said beforehand that Lethal Lava Land was a trouble stage, but after that performance, I'm not quite sure you were telling the truth on that.
Well, LLL was pretty good. It's one star. I messed up pretty bad, but no. I think that was possibly the most calm I've ever been in any race ever. I was very relaxed going into that run from the beginning to end. I didn't get nervous at any point. I was able to stay very, very level-headed. And I think you guys mentioned this before too. It's really important to note that I was able. This is really what shows the difference between. That's what makes you outshine in a tournament, in a race setting. Being able to stay calm and relaxed and just continue going no matter what. So, like, for example, when I made mistakes in TTM, like diving down, like it's a common mistake when I try to press A and B, but only B triggers. So, like, I dive down the bottom doing reds, and usually I'd freak out. You know, when you go down there, it's not something you'll ever do. So you freak out, you don't know what to do. But I was able to just stay very relaxed and just pull off the backups and just stay calm for the entire race. And because of that, I was able to pull off a really good run with lots of small mistakes, but small mistakes don't matter. And I think that's why I did so well, and I think that's really important in a race setting.
Absolutely, and I mean, pulling off a nice, just even 49. Now, Copitz having to deal with, you know, his stream bitrate kind of going in and out, and some of those mistakes like pillarless. I mean, at what point were you really starting to kind of get nervous? What was going through your head throughout this run?
I mean, like, I didn't expect to win, of course, but I wanted to play well, and I didn't play that well. But I guess I can't really, I can't be too upset considering I wasn't even able to get any practice runs. It's all right.
Yeah, still showed up, still came out, and did your thing.
Yeah, did my best. Did what I could.
And it definitely showed. There were a lot of great moments in that gameplay. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut the interview a tad short to move the schedule along. But before we go ahead and leave you guys, one last reminder that you can bet on all the upcoming races today on vi.gg. If you are of legal betting age in your country, ! Bet in the chat. Check them out. They're an amazing spot. I mean, sponsoring 3 tournaments before the end of the year, that's just wild.
Yeah. Shout outs to them. Thank you very much, Cheese and Copitz, for the racing. Thank you, Electric, for the slammin' co-coms. It has been a pleasure. Up next, we've got Super Mario Odyssey, Sephar MB versus Mozerks in the 90% tournament coming right up. Don't go anywhere. Looking for that SMO action. Thank you again, and see you later.
Absolutely. Great game to both of our runners and great co-commentary, simply as always. I mean, I absolutely love commenting with you. So, and everyone, like he said, stick around for that Super Mario Odyssey. And if not, have a great one.